hakegewe morata. No do mere rishenyi heirie. Todo ire do kanye darege. Woi kaegwe kitetea. Mwedo wakwade wake dirika. Morata ne wariga neirone nie. Wariga neirone wedo ito. Woi kaegwe kitetea.
I would say that he hasn't been forgotten. I would say that what it is we've forgotten is ourselves.
It's always also great to have path breakers and pathfinders, the people who go ahead of you, the people who walk through the cold dew, so that when you come after them, the grass or the ground is a bit warm.
What Ngûgî does is validate us, and I think that it's not an easy space to be in for us who have spent or spend so much time looking outside of ourselves for validation. That Ngûgî tells us that this is who we are. It's easy to dismiss because it's coming from inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, our visitor is here.
And I'm sure across the Republic and across the region, but we also celebrate you. We do celebrate the good work that you've been doing. You've been a very inspiring citizen of this country. And whenever we see you being celebrated by others, including nominations for Nobel Peace Prizes in literature, we as Kenyans feel very, very proud to be associated with you. And indeed, we brag everywhere we go that while you've been away for a long time, you're still a son of Kenya.
We have a sense of pride and a sense of achievement and a sense of Kenya being on the world stage, but I think it's I don't want to say superficial. There are so many layers of concerns that we have as writers, so many layers of concerns that we have as activists, so many layers of concerns that we have as artists trying to speak our truth, that I think that the prizes are over there, and there are other concerns and other issues that need to be dealt with before we can begin to say Nobel has a great significance. This is my own opinion. But I think that it's important to be nominated for these prizes, and it's important for us as a country and as individuals to recognize just how much that person has endured.
So for Ngûgî, the mere fact that wherever you went, I was in Bayreuth last year in Germany, and whenever you said I'm from Kenya and you say the Department of Literature, University, I would say, oh, that's where Ngûgî was, isn't it? So for young writers, he's always broken the ground. Nobody would ever ask globally, where is Kenya, you know?
Une certaine alchimie secrète. Une certaine alchimie secrète. Circule. Et pendant le temps d'une nuit,
Joroge! Right, Joroge, stand up. What are you doing? You are standing up. No. What are you doing? You are standing up. No, no. Look, what are you doing? You. All right, fine. Look, you, stand up. What are you doing?
I am standing up.
Good. Yes, good. Now, Joroge, what is she doing? You are standing up. All right, look, class.
And unfortunately, when we became independent, there wasn't a cultural move to demystify the foreign, to find what it is of ourselves that was valuable, find what it is of ourselves that we needed to push and create a nation by identifying with the various aspects of ourselves that did not eliminate us. In school, when I was in school, you were punished if you spoke vernacular. You were punished if you spoke Kiswahili. I understand that even as late as the 2000s, children are punished for speaking vernacular.
So we're now going down.
You know what I've been advocating is just simply as the language policy, mother tongue, Kiswahili, and English.
But that's why.
And that's the reality actually in this country. But they need resources put into African language. I was told recently that in some schools, in a syllabus, they actually have a class of mother tongue, but it's never used. Instead, they say that can be used in English. What is that telling to children? But your language does not matter. It's not what, you know.
You can see that we're talking more about language, but what about the core, the political revolution that will make us truly independent as a socialist country in this area?
I think there's an extent to which Ngûgî has remained largely faithful to his idea of Kenya. You may disagree with that, and I've seen a colleague here, Father Mgunda's argument was that Ngûgî's all ideological arguments are out of place today. But that's again a facile argument. There is a lot of kind of empty celebrity talk in this country where people think that old arguments no longer hold true. Old arguments are probably more relevant today than they were. For example, Ngûgî's argument on our languages is probably more urgent today than it was. We have today to learn Chinese to interact with them. Why don't we force them to learn Swahili so that they interact with us? Because the moment you have to learn their language to interact with them, we are interacting on their terms.
Nikio kiga rodhiomi ko titio rodhiomi wa kuatu no no ma titio rodhiomi wa tumero kangi odiana ko kanante mono kana uwe o ũgatwara kũgũrũ gwaku kwega biũ ĩgwĩkora biũ ũkoigua ũtũmĩrwo kwa mũndũ ũngĩ no akenaga mũno niĩ gũkũ gwakwa nĩ ndatinio ndokĩrwo kwa mũndũ ndokĩ no gwakwa no aigua na nĩguo tũhana rĩngĩ na rĩngĩ tũtũgĩria ũhoro wa marĩ hatĩkĩgĩa kĩngĩgiria mũndũ na nĩguo twagĩrĩirwo mũndũ amenye rũthiomi rwake okorwo nĩ Kenya acoke ongerere Gĩthwaĩri na acoke ongerere Kĩngeretha nĩngĩingĩraga ũndũ atĩrĩrĩ ũngĩmenya thiomi ciothe cia thĩ na ndũĩ rũthiomi rwaku ũcio nĩ ũkombo no ũngĩmenya rũthiomi rwaku wongerere thiomi iria ciothe cia thĩ ũguo nĩ kwĩĩkĩra hinya nĩ kũgĩa na hinya rĩu andũ twagĩrĩirwo gũthuura hinya handũ ha gũthuura ũkombo.
What I think Ngûgî gives is another point of view. There's a word for it, I'm sure, but there's, like it gives English pause. And I think English needs to be given pause because it is so powerful and it's everywhere. Gikuyu, or an African language spoken in a book, written, gives a pause to English, to the power of English.
I'm increasingly being very convinced that the literature being produced in Kiswahili today in Kenya is the main literature we should read, not even literature in English. Kiswahili changu kinaweza kuwa ni hafifu, but I think that every Kenyan should bother to read at least one or two novels or plays or collections of poetry in Swahili, and you'll be amazed that they actually a lot more Ngûgîs in Kiswahili than they are in the English language.
Next boss. Watu ni wabaya. How are you doing the team? It's getting better. I think we have a few more. But if you say I'll say next.
Ndũgate inya ũteng'erere inyanya na makĩria gũte inya ciaku ũteng'erere inyanya cia mũndũ ũngĩ no ũkĩmenya ciaku inya-rĩ ũcoke ũthiũrũmarũme tũngĩra wongerere ciaku-rĩ ũguo nĩ wega no gũte ciaku nĩgetha ũkinyĩre inyanya cia mũndũ ũngĩ ikuona ũrĩa.
That's what Ngûgî has given the world. He's given an opportunity to see Africa as grounded and having a history of its own and having a story of its own that can be spoken. We were colonized in a way that then took away our language. And even among the Kikuyu, I've heard it said, what is it for? And why are you still teaching your children how to speak it? So English had prominence, and English was important, and English was how you got ahead. And even as you were being punished, you didn't feel bad after a while. After a while, you began to think this is the right way, this is proper. So with my reading of Decolonizing the Mind, I came face to face with just how much I had accepted, even though the colonizers had left, how much I had accepted to continue to stay in a state of mind that said that white was better than black. I think within our present consciousness, we need to all read Decolonizing the Mind. I began to be aware of my own implication in the colonizing of myself, that I had been colonized and I could make excuses that something had... happened in the past, but I was continuing to feel that that was okay and that that was just the status quo and things were all right. Now, I still speak English. I still speak the way I spoke, probably, because I do get a lot of people who ask me whether I've studied abroad, and I haven't. It's just the way things were. But at the same time, in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, I think that I am more aware of trying to tell a Kenyan story, trying to tell an East African story, trying to tell an African story. And that is in every one of my own plays, and even in the plays that I do by other people. So there'll always be music, there'll always be traditional instruments, there'll always be dance. The medium is English, the clothing is maybe cotton that is not necessarily manufactured here, but the ethos, the smell, the feel will take the audience to a place that is in the past and show them how it can be present now. And I thank Ngûgî for that.